The Chief of Defense Staff (CDS) General Olufemi Oluyede has called for urgent strengthening of the Nigerian Police Force (NPF) and the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) to consolidate gains recorded by the armed forces in the fight against insurgency and banditry across the country. General Oluyede made the call during the 2025 budget appraisal and the defense of the 2026 budget proposal at the National Assembly complex in Abuja. He noted that the police and civil defense, which have larger personnel strength and wider community reach than the armed forces, must be adequately equipped to take over and secure areas already cleared of criminal elements by the military. Providing an overview of the nation's security situation, Oluyede disclosed that arrangement had been concluded to deploy special forces to Kwara State and parts of Niger State to address the recent surge in insecurity. He stressed, however, that the armed forces alone could not resolve the challenges. He also assured Nigerians that renewed efforts were underway to tackle lingering security threats in the Middle Belt, particularly in Benue and Plateau State, by taking the fight directly to insurgent hideouts. He revealed that new special forces had been deployed to Benue and Plateau, while a new joint task force codenamed Operation Savannah Shield would soon be inaugurated to specifically cover Kwara State and parts of Niger State. The CDS further disclosed that Nigeria was partnering with some allied countries to bridge gaps in intelligence gathering, stressing that such partnerships were being streamlined to safeguard the country's sovereignty. Oluyede emphasized that the armed forces lack the manpower to be deployed everywhere at once, noting that continuous movement of troops from one theater to another had placed enormous strain on personnel.
As we speak, things are much better in the northeast. In the northwest, we still have very huge challenges. The same applies to some part of the north central, talking about Benue, Plateau, even up to Kwara. But we're evolving modalities to checkmate all these challenges within the ambit of the resources available to us. For instance, as of yesterday, a new set of special forces that were trained in Doma were drafted to Benue and Plateau. Then we're about inaugurating another joint task force that will cover Kwara specifically and some part of Niger, that is Bogu area. That's going to be strengthened to ensure that that area gets better. The joint task force will be named Savannah Shield, and the joint task force commander has been appointed, and we're trying to see how we can pull resources from other places to ensure that we cover that part. Now we have huge challenges. You're all aware that we're partnering with some allied countries to support us because we have shortfalls in some areas like gathering intelligence because we don't have the platform. That is the truth. But with their coming, we'll get better intelligence, and we're acting on them as we get those feedbacks from them. They've been quite helpful, but we're trying to see how we can streamline the ones that are coming, because we can't partner with everybody.
Earlier, Chairman of the House Committee on Defense, Rep. Babajimi Benson, said Nigeria's contemporary security challenges could not be addressed through kinetic approaches alone. While acknowledging the gains made by the armed forces and other security agencies, Benson stressed that sustainable peace required complementary non-kinetic strategies. He noted that persistent security threat underscored the need for deeper institutional reforms, improved interagency coordination, and smarter deployment of scarce resources. According to him, increased budgetary allocations must be matched with measurable outcomes, value for money, transparency, and accountability. He advocated for a whole-of-government and whole-of-society approach to security, calling for investment in strategic communication, community peace building, defense intelligence infrastructure, cyber defense, border security technology, police reforms, and interagency data fusion centers. Benson added that the 2026 budget proposals must demonstrate a clear balance between military strength and tools for sustainable peace. He reaffirmed the House of Representatives' commitment to peace, unity, and national security, pledging the committed support for efforts aimed at strengthening Nigeria's defense architecture through local defense production, research and development, improved personnel welfare, and modernization anchored on efficiency, transparency, and innovation. Benson further stressed that the 2026 budget must be clearly aligned with Nigeria's national security priorities and ongoing reforms within the defense sector, insisting that submissions before the committee must be realistic, well-justified, and performance-driven. He said the committee would pay close attention to issues of personnel welfare, training and capacity development, equipment maintenance and modernization, intelligence capacities, logistic support, and the sustainability of ongoing military operations. He reiterated that oversight remained a core constitutional responsibility of the House Committee on Defense, stressing that funds appropriated by the National Assembly are public resources that must be judiciously utilized. According to him, accountability should not be viewed as punitive, but as a shared obligation that strengthens public trust and enhances institutional credibility. He reaffirmed the unwavering commitment of the House Representative to the peace, unity, and security of the nation, noting that the Committee on Defense would continue to support initiatives aimed at deepening local defense production, enhancing research and development, improving personnel welfare, and modernizing Nigeria's defense architecture.
The persistence of security threats underscores the need for deeper institutional reforms, improved coordination, and smarter deployment of scarce resources. The expectations of Nigerians are high, and rightly so. They demand results that translate into safer communities, restored livelihoods, and renewed confidence in the authority of the state. In response to these expectations, the National Assembly, within the limits of available national resources, has continued to accord priority to the defense and security sector in successive budgets. However, increased allocations must be matched with measurable outcomes, value for money, and strict adherence to principles of transparency and accountability. The era of input-focused budgeting without commensurate impact is no longer acceptable.
Baba Sunday, Eagles TV.